All right, welcome back. What we're doing is we're taking this pile of steel, this pile of parts, and sticking it all into this shell to make a legit autocross and track car. Oh yeah. Hello, big fat tire. Today, that empty shell is getting its skeleton, piece by piece, tube by tube. This isn't just about safety. This is not about making the car more rigid. This is just about this is about giving the car soul. All right, we are starting again where we left off from last week's video. Last week you saw, just as a little boost for myself, I stuck some fender flares on there and took a look at it and I was like, oh my God, that's awesome. It is. It's awesome. But I'm about to do something I've never done before. I am going to, here's the trunk lid. Here's the trunk lid. I'm gonna cut the skin off the trunk lid because it's all dented and beat up. And then we're gonna straighten that little section. And we're gonna skin the trunk lid. And I know, you're saying, isn't it just cheaper to buy a trunk lid? Probably is. But we're gonna skin it with carbon fiber. No, I'm not a carbon fiber guy, I'm not a fiberglass guy, but I'm giving this a shot. And then when that works, we're gonna do the doors, then we're gonna do fenders, and all that's down the road. This is just doing this to test it. Another test. So stick around. I don't know if this works. I don't know if this works or not, but I'm gonna show you what I'm kind of doing. So I'm just taking a flapper wheel, grinding the edge of the trunk lid. I don't know if I can do both at the same time here. Hold on. And once I get down to a certain spot, you can see it. You can watch it start splitting open. So the other skin starts coming right off. You see that? That's what I'm doing. I've ground all the way around the edges. You can see it's already. Oh, so you saw we got the skin separated. Let's. Oh yeah. Oh. Oh my gosh! Look at that chunk. Wood chips and everything in there. Must be some squirrel stuff. But yeah, so there, we're taking the skin off. We'll reuse this base. Yeah, that's the hinge areas, that's nice. And then we'll put a skin on top of it, a carbon skin. Oh, that's exciting. Oh, let me put this camera down, get to that. Okay, so you can see we took the old trunk skin off. Man, beehives and wood chips and everything else that was being stored in there. And coated the whole bottom of this with the rust preventative, as you can see, and it dried overnight. It's become a nice hard shell. It's converted the rust over to a black primer, and it's now ready. And this probably won't stay as a permanent, so I'm not going to use any real tough bonding agent. I think I'm just going to silicone the panel into place, just for now. So I actually have a trunk lid. So this is what I'm doing. Take the steel off and put a carbon fiber panel on. And I'll have a carbon fiber trunk that will open and close like factory. Yeah. So I'm gonna do the same thing to the doors. We're gonna skin the doors, let it set up, take that trim off, and then glue a new carbon panel right over the top. That's why I said I was never worried about rust or dents or anything else on the doors. And then, if I'm brave, I'll probably do the front fenders too. I'll put my fender flares on, and we will coat and skin those, and then we will actually probably cut them right along here and then bond a new fender to the existing parts. So that's where we're at. That's a temporary cover. That's like my first test. I'm still testing. That's why I'm doing it. And I'm gonna keep going. All right, so we did the back and we've got our down bars. I haven't tacked those in yet. And I got these bars bent for the front. So we're gonna do engine bay bars. We're moving from the back to the front now. And I think I'm gonna do them extra long. I'm gonna mount them up here. That's why I made this bar longer. So I gotta trim it. And then we're gonna come up and straight back into the firewall, which is why we didn't weld all that stuff yet. We just cleak it in place because I knew we were gonna have to run bars through there. So I'm gonna do this side first, just a visual. And I'm gonna take this side apart also because we have to be careful where we go through on this side, because this side has a steering column, it has brake pedals. So it need to be moved over just a hair. So I'm gonna make sure I can do the same on both sides. That way it looks cool and works correctly. That's okay. Cleco's coming out. Yeah, I kind of went right where I wanted. Oh, I don't know if I can mimic it on that side, but man, let's see. Yeah. Oh, yep, there it is. About right there. Oh, that's gonna be freaking awesome. Let me see. Let's take the camera inside and see where we came. We should have came through that upper vent, which is what I was shooting for. Yeah, that's exactly what we did. Now, can you? Here, let me see. Yeah, we came right through that upper vent. It'll come right through the wall, and then I just got to build a bar coming from here up. Oh, I'm jazzed. Now I gotta copy it on that side through that hole. All right.
"12 seconds later."
Yeah, that's looking pretty good. I mean, there's the bottom of the bar, and then we got a nice angle going in. Clears everything here, even on full up, because you know car's pretty low as it is now, and you can see it comes in nicely at an angle here, and so I'll be able to run my bar here, straight up, and then up right through here, and tie it into a overhead bar. All right, where are we at? Well, you would cut the holes in the firewall. We put the bent tube in. I trimmed it down here so I got the angle. Then I drilled a hole in the second side, matching, same distance out, and put the second tube in there and bent that one. So I'm gonna put a little tack on this, and then I'm gonna measure from back of the tire in, and then I'm gonna measure the back of the tire in, and make sure both bars are in the same location, roughly. I'll measure off the tire, measure off the motor, kind of make sure everything's kind of in there, and then I'll tack that side into place so it matches. And then I'll just keep going. I mean, we got to put a cross brace in and some other stuff, and then we got to build radiator support. So that's cool stuff that we're gonna do over the next few hours, along with I gotta weld those rear bars in too, or at least tack them in, because right now they got magnets holding them in place. I'm sure they're gonna fall down at any moment. Didn't need that on video anyways. All right, I got that bar tacked in. I got that bar tacked in. Got my Hotchkiss team shirt on. from back in the day when I was part of the Hotchkiss H team. And what I did is I just threw 6 bolts there, and those aren't even tight. You can see they're just in there. What I'm doing is I used a couple of magnets, and I'm going to put a bar across there that's adjustable. I'm just trying to decide, do I want it low? Do I want it high? I need to have enough clearance that, you know, we can easily work on stuff. We're going to use a bar. We're going to use this bar here. So I'll end up cutting this down to whatever length it needs to be. And then on the end here, we'll slip in like that. And we'll weld around here. And same thing on the other side. And then we can adjust the width, because we'll have these in there, and they'll be, we'll put them in those, bolt them into those holes on these little brackets. And they'll be like that. So we'll have a spreader bar basically in the front, so we can keep tension between those two and keep the rigidity in there. Yep. And we'll probably do a couple other bars in here too, but you know, that's just the main part right there. We're trying to keep some rigidity in this section right through here, and we'll probably put a bar up here because we do have a sway bar that comes underneath here going across, and that's kind of why I picked this spot, because the sway bar is here. I will be putting a bar across here because we're gonna have the radiator at an angle going down. So this is where we're at. Got some cool building going right now, so I'm trying to decide, man. Well, I'll figure it out. I'm deciding up, down, I don't know. These are just little magnets. Literally all they are. You know, I can put them anywhere I want and decide, you know, how down I want them or how up I want it. Wow. This goal is pretty ambitious. Actually, the whole build is pretty ambitious. And we're doing it on a budget with a lot of secondhand parts. All right, well, I've got this side tacked just about where I want it. So I'm gonna tack the other side in. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna use a little level on the bar to make it dead level across, and then I'll just tack that side. So let me get it done. Man, we're just zipping right along now. This is kind of fun. All right. Alright, well, you can see the bubble level is just about dead center. So I'll throw a tack over there. I don't know if I can, let's see here. Perfect, we didn't move it at all. So we got our lower crossbar, so I do need to put a couple tacks here, a couple tacks there, so we can take it apart and weld that completely. we're not gonna do that. Just I'll put the tacks there, but we're gonna move on to other parts of this front section build. Cool. Put a tack there, put a tack there like we talked about, just so the bar stays in its position, or the ends stay in their position. We can take it off and weld them all up. It took a second to kind of just grab the hood out of the back of the building and drop the hood on the car. And the reason I'm doing this, number one, is I want to kind of make sure little basic pieces fit. But number two is inside the car, this is the perfect time for us to start seeing, you know, what clearance issues we have. I think we're perfect on the bars, perfect on the reservoirs. Well, I knew I was gonna have to change that crazy filler neck, and we just make it with this throttle body. So I guess this is the throttle body we're going with. I can't use the other one that I had, the taller Holly thing. So bummer, but that's where we're at, and that's why we're fitting everything. And it's a pain in the butt sometimes. I know that to put heavy panels on, but you know, two things. Number one, we're making sure we got clearance, and number two, that thing is so heavy, I know I'm going to be making a carbon hood. Just gonna say. All right. Well, I just tacked on the RideTech triple adjustable canister mounts to the frame where they should be located. You know, I showed earlier we had actually put the hood on so we could start checking clearances on things, and I knew that was going to have to go because it's really tall. And yeah, it'll go. I don't need it. That intake just clears, so I guess it stays. I guess if I make that into a cowl hood, I'd get much more room. But I kind of like the Z28 hood, even though probably won't use that Z28 hood. I think we're going to do a carbon mold off of it. I'll probably use the center Z section. But anyways, canister mounts are on. Crossbar is in. I gotta just pick up my crap. All right, on to the next part. Well, all right, so I'm just gonna throw a tack up in here, a tack on that side, just so those bars don't fall down on me, because right now I just got them being held up by little magnets, and I know for sure, I mean, in whatever little fish notch I have in there, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna fall on me, so I'm gonna tack those in, and then we're gonna bend a halo, or try to, for in here. Well, here I am welding. Richard Wattis, if you're over there at Magna Flow, I got a couple of holes in my shirt from welding. Send me out another shirt. Yeah. Susie's gonna kill me. She keeps telling me, quit wearing all your good shirts for welding. I got the bender out. Bent me a little halo hoop real fast. This is it. Up, over, and out. 35 inches there. 32 inches this way, 35 inches across this way. And I just got to fit it in there. So what I did is, you know, holding the hoop up there, trying to fit it is tough. So on this car, it's easy. It's not painted, but I usually put like a ratchet strap or something around it. And then you can slip it through the ratchet straps to hold it up to the ceiling. And then use 2x4s to space it down or move it away from different parts that you want. And then I use these little inexpensive magnets from Harbor Freight, and they kind of help hold the panel in place. So let me do that. we'll see once we get it all the way up in there. Yeah, that's not bad. That's kind of cool. Pull it back out. Yeah. Well, my camera died, but I was making my down bars now. So I put a little bend there and one little bend right there. So I got, let me lay it on the ground, show you. You got 2 bends in it when they're just super slight. And I put a little fish mouth at the top. Now what I've been doing, this is my 3rd trip. I'm kind of trimming it down right here on the saw just to slow fit. So what I'm doing now is, you can see, kind of fit it into the tube up here. I want it to run right along this and then here, and that's what my 2 little minor bends were. So what I've done now is, the fish mouth fits up top, and then, yeah, man, I'm super close. I don't want to change it down here though, because I'm gonna do a little fish mouth on that side too. So man, I'm super close. Yep. I'm gonna go back over there and trim it again. Well, all right. I'm gonna call that another 8-hour day. We gotta stand back and look. You know, it's changed in the last 8 hours from what we started with. I mean, look, I gotta sit in it first. Okay, yeah, we gotta sit in it. We gotta check this out. Oh, yes. The perspective from here has completely changed. I mean, they're not all tied together yet, but I can see the bars going everywhere. I mean, you're completely surrounded by this web of steel now. You can already tell the car is much more purposeful now that, you know, I've kind of put all these parts in. Every single bar at this point has a job, and now it's just, I need to start literally welding it together. That's okay. We're outside the car now, and it looks awesome. I mean, and we're not even done yet. I mean, there's still some very critical bars that have to go in, you know, in the cockpit. You know, I got some door bars that I got a custom build to go in here. You know, we got the halo in, and I've got that tied in. We've got the down bars. We got support brackets that have to go in here and close them off. Actually, I think that top one needs to be, yeah, it needs to move over a little bit more. See, there's all that stuff. That's not even welded. I literally just pressed it in place with a little hammer. I've got to come back in here and cut out the dash on that side so it'll get closer to the bar like it's supposed to be. But man, I'm excited. Join me, come back next week, join me for the next 8 hours. We're gonna do some door bars. And off time I'll weld some of this stuff up. Well, you know, we'll do some, we got to cut some notches and stuff and put it together. But I hope you're digging it so far. I mean, it's I love it. It's coming together really, really cool. I can't wait to get more of the car and more of the support in here that I want. And guys, like, subscribe, come back, Share it with your friends. This is a crazy car, right? We're building this car basically out of scrap. We had scrap metal and a scrap car, and we're putting it together, and we're gonna have an incredible track and autocross car. That's it. That's it for this week. Well, not even a week. That's it for this day. We put all our 8 hours together, and this is on the video, and it's telling me I have 8 hours and 26 minutes worth of video. We're gonna cut that down into about 30 minutes, and this is what you're watching. I'm excited. Man, it's looking good. Man, it's looking good. Door bars. We got a harness bar we got to put in. We got door bars we got to put in. We got a lower dash bar we got to put in. We got to notch this so the down bars fit a little bit better. The engine bay bars looking really good. I mean, I think I need to put one that goes from here down to the frame, which will be cool. And then we're going to make a custom radiator support to hold our radiator at an angle. I don't know if I can squeeze that in over the next 8 hours, but a lot of it I'm going to try. Like, and subscribe. Thanks, man. Bye.